Welcome to Lesson 5, the final stop in our first stage, and honestly, one of my favorites. Picture this. Sarah has just SSH'd into a shared work server, and her prompt is bare, just bash $5.1, no username, no hostname. And a few days ago, she switched over to the deploy user with sudo, so now she's staring at the screen wondering, who am I right now? One wrong command as the wrong user could mean disaster. She needs a tiny safe answer, and that's exactly what whoami gives her. So what does whoami actually do? It tells you your username. That's it. When you log into Linux, you're always acting as a specific user account, and every command, every file you touch is tied to that identity. Think of it like a name badge at a conference. If you ever forget who you are, just glance down, type whoami, and the terminal shows you instantly. Trivial command, but critical context, especially right before you do something risky. So let's actually try it. 6 letters, whoami, press enter, and one word comes back. In this example, it's learner, but yours will be different, maybe Laszlo, admin, Ubuntu, or whatever account you're logged into. And here's a small bonus. Look at the prompt itself, just before the $, symbol. That's your username too. So you've actually got 2 ways to check who you are. Now you might be thinking, if I already know my own username, why would I ever need to ask? Fair question. Here are 3 moments where whoami quietly saves the day. First, after sudo, you've elevated your privileges and you want to confirm you're actually root before doing something risky. Second, after SSH, you've jumped to a remote server, the prompt looks unfamiliar, and whoami tells you exactly which machine identity you're wearing. And third, on shared systems, school or work servers where many people log in, a quick whoami confirms you're touching your own files, not someone else's. Here's something worth knowing. Whoami has a couple of close relatives. There's logname, which tells you who you originally logged in as, and unlike whoami, it doesn't change after sudo. And there's id_un, which gives the same answer as whoami, just in a form that scripts often prefer. The key insight. After sudo, whoami and logname will disagree, and that difference is actually the clue you're looking for. Let's see this play out in real life. Tom logs into a production server as himself, then uses sudo to switch over to the deploy user for some maintenance. 2 hours later, after a coffee break, he's back at the terminal, and honestly, he can't quite remember which user he's currently acting as. Before running anything risky, he types whoami, still deploy, crisis averted. 6 little letters that just prevented a 6-hour disaster. Now here's where we need a gentle word of caution. As helpful as whoami is, it only answers one specific question: who am I acting as right now? If Tom logged in originally but switched to deploy with sudo, whoami will say deploy, which is technically correct, but it won't reveal that Tom started the session. For that, you'd reach for logname, and if you want to know which machine you're on, that's hostname. 3 small tools, 3 clear questions. Use the right one for the job. Speaking of which, whoami really shines when you pair it with a few friends. Run it alongside pwd and you get a complete who and where snapshot, perfect at the start of any session. Combine it with hostname after an SSH jump, and you'll instantly confirm you're the right user on the right server. And when you need more detail than just a name, ID is the fuller report, username, user ID, and group memberships all in one go. Now it's your turn. 3 tiny exercises, about 3 minutes all in. First, just type whoami on its own and notice how the answer matches the name before the > sign in your prompt. Then try logname right after whoami. On a fresh terminal, they'll agree, but inside a sudo session, they can quietly disagree. That's the subtle lesson. Finally, chain them together, whoami, pwd, and hostname separated by semicolons, and you'll get who you are, where you are, and which machine, all stacked in one go. And just like that, you've completed stage 1, 5 commands, pwd, ls, cd, tree, and whoami, and together they answer the whole "where am I?" question with a name badge to match. Next up, Stage 2 shifts from where to what, starting with the File command in Lesson 6, where you'll learn to peek inside files instead of just folders. Same friendly pace. I'll see you there.